going to present you a topic related to malaria, that is ethical and social aspects of malaria. Next slide, please. Now we'll talk about the agenda, what we are going to do for the next 5 to 7 minutes. That is the introduction, the ethical aspects, the social aspects, and the general idea about everything and the resource, that how it is affecting the general public and worldwide. The introduction. Basically, what is malaria? Malaria is a disease which is caused by the parasite Anopheles mosquitoes bite. So this kind of transmission happens in human body, and it has host as human body, and it affects the liver cells, and in this we are going to see that how the deaths are occurred, or how many cases are there. Worldwide, if we see, 229 million people have been affected by malaria, and approximately 4,000 or 400,000 basically deaths are caused by malaria. So it is a major kind of disease which is caused. Now, why is the ethical and social cause required to such kind of disease? Because it is really important to prevent, and as possible as much amount of medical facilities and treatment should be made available in such kind of diseases. And now we'll look upon the social aspects, ethical aspects. Previous concept. Ethical aspects. So what are basically ethical aspects? Here I want to make a point that people generally bifurcate between different kind of people which they have some kind of diseases. So in this kind, the genetic predisposition has been made a concern, where people try to bifurcate such people. So in this kind, people try to remain or afraid from medical what do you say, a hospital or facilities, because they have such kind of a disease. So this leads to social expulsions from medical treatments and healthcare units, which leads to more spreading of such kind of disease like malaria. And another thing which we have to take into consideration when we are thinking about ethical concept is that whatever information or genetic data which is used, it should be confidential within the doctor and the patient, because that is how it should work between the relationship of the doctor and the patient. Now we will talk about some key aspects in the ethical aspects. Then it is generally there is a lot of breach or exploitation of the genetic data which are collected during testing or some kind of during testing and all. So these kind of genetic data should not be used in any other practices, because this is the ethical concern. This is the threat for ethical concern, or the whole privacy of the person or an individual who is affected. Next we talk about the major concept which is now introducing in the market, that generally the malaria parasites are implanted. That is, infections are being studied and how to prevent them. Such kind of diseases are infected with the healthy individuals, and then they are studied. In these cases, basically an individual is affected. So this also can raise an ethical concern. So basically a researcher should always think about such kind of ethical aspects, that how it will cause any kind participant whose data has been collected and who he is trying to experiment on. Next is that gene driving technologies and many other technologies nowadays are trying to modify the genetic makeups and all so that the effect of the malarial parasite should be decreased. But what happens in such kind of cases is that it decreases the capacity, but what will be the impact of such kind of variations is not known. So introduction of such kind of things should always have some kind of preparation earlier, that what will be the impact on the mass public. This also creates one kind of ethical impact, and it also should be taken into consideration by every researcher. Now we move on to the social aspects. Social aspects are something which each and everyone deals with. It is all about the mass public. The basic social aspect which we will talk about in this is poverty. Poverty is the main criteria where malarial parasite is mainly found. If you see that generally tropical and subtropical regions of our worldwide are affected with malaria. So why is that? So why is that? So next one. So this is the world estimate graph of poverty. Basically, these are the areas which have comparatively higher poverty than other nations. These areas which are shown by red and some kind of shade of red here may be poverty regions, and another aspect here is these lie in the tropical and subtropical regions. One is that thing. Second, poverty. Now I'll explain how poverty and malaria is related. What happens is generally when someone is suffering from poverty, you do not have that much of income in the house, so that you can deal with such kind of diseases and get some good medical facilities, and then you should deal with it. How you can do that in such cases? Another thing happens is that malnutrition. Generally, some children which are in the poverty crisis are generally seen with many malnutritions, protein allergy malnutritions, or many deficiencies like whether it is iron, vitamin A, retinol, and like zinc and all. So what happens is every time you deal with a disease, your energy becomes comparatively low, and the efficiency with which you can deal with a disease is also decreased. So it leads to a lot of deaths. In a study, it is noted that in poverty, 58% of the worldwide poverty, 20% of the most deaths are the poorest. So this is also a main concern. Then there are another social aspect is that people generally bifurcate between the individuals regarding many reasons, like maybe gender, maybe where you live, the geographical area with which you live in, and such kind of areas, or like these things always keeps the people refrained from the medical assistance. Another thing is when generally the houses in the poverty lines are generally very close, overcrowded. In such areas, what happens is a lot of people stay in one house and attract the vector and the sanitation, of course. These all things attracts the vectors, and because they can find more amount of CO2, basically a lot of people, and another factor is amount of chemicals. So these factors also led to increase amount of malarial cases in poverty regions. There has been a study regarding this as well, wherein in a city, so from the worldwide cities, most of the cities or countries having the largest populations or who are poor generally are seen with a lot of malarial cases. children should be benefited from that, even though we have to make a technology more advanced. In that case, we have to keep social and ethical concept in our mind, and then we should try and take the society ahead. That's it. Thank you for your attention, everyone.
Thank you. Questions, please.
I have a question.
Please.
What is the aspect that you mentioned in the ethics, and what if it is absent in the medical field or the scientific field?
If such kind of aspects do not exist in the medical field, people will not think about anything they use. For example, you give blood for your testing, anything. Whenever you're going there, you give your genetic information to the practitioner. So basically, it is their task to keep your information confidential. And of course, it is the patient's right to know that his or her information is confidential with that same person. Problem is that if this doesn't happen, then always there will be breach of privacy in each and every matter, and that will lead to nothing but they'll just lose the hope and the trust which we gave as future doctors. So that shouldn't happen, because we have to move ahead as a whole and soul, and we have to take the community ahead. So that's all.
What means genetic predisposition?
Sorry, ma'am.
Genetic predisposition.
Genetic predisposition means any way if the genetic genetic constitution of a particular person is been malused somewhere, or it is used in other kind of practices which he doesn't know about. His concern has not been taken into account, and such kind of things is called as genetic predisposition.
Example of genetic predisposition. Example of genetic predisposition. I know.
Many times in some clinics, what happens is some doctors take different kind of medical tests which are not even required. They take the medical tests and use such kind of data in some other kind of crimes and all. So this should not happen, because in that case the person doesn't even know what is happening with his genetic information. So this is the privacy which that person should have, and even the doctors and the practitioners should know that what are their limits in that.
Ma'am, it's mainly that we have different genetics makeup, right? Yeah, everybody has different gene with slight 1% mutation to make up our phenotype. So it's mainly how a disease will react to it. Means according to the genes, our specific mutations caused by the like malaria virus, specific genes are changed. So how will that cause in genotype or phenotype changes in other individual? That is genetic disposition.
It is all understanding, but more important to understand which gene maybe has more big role or less role, and make this is predictive analysis for understand who need vaccination, again vaccination in first time or second.
Thank you for your
No,
time.
it will can in future, yes?
Yes.
Take together,
Три доклада было уже.
together for photo.
Написано 5, но такое ощущение, что там 2 минуты. Вот.
Have any questions? No. Okay, thank you.
Все, не все уже ожидала, что